Have a nice day. Today is Saturday, 16th of March 2024. From the history point of view, in 2005, Israel officially hands over Jericho to Palestinian control. 2010, the Gasobi tombs, Uganda's only cultural World Heritage site, are destroyed in the fire. In 2012, on the same day, the former Indian cricketer Sachin Tendulkar becomes the first batter in history to score 100 centuries in international cricket. March 16 is also celebrated as a National Vaccination Day. On March 16 every year, National Vaccination Day is observed in India, which is also known as the National Immunization Day. It was first observed on 16th of March 1995 when the first dose of the oral polio vaccine was given. Starting the newspaper analyst with the newspaper The Hindu states that first aid boat unloads in Gaza as Hamas proposes new Tracey. A first aid ship playing a new maritime corridor from Cyprus began unloading its cargo of desperately needed food in Gaza on March 15 as Hamas proposed a new 6-week Tracey in the war. The Israeli military said it had deployed troops to secure the area around the jetty. The vessel underwent a comprehensive security inspection. It added, workers unloaded aid packages from the ship arriving from Cyprus amid the ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinian Islamist group Hamas at the Gaza coast. March 15, 2024, in this screen grab obtained from social media video. The Hindu newspaper also states that Biden backs Schumer after United States Senator calls for new elections in Israel. President Joe Biden expressed support on March 15 for Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer after the senator called for new elections in Israel. The latest sign that the United States' relationship with its close Middle East ally in carrying toward a fracture over the war in Gaza. President Joe Biden is expressing support for the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer after the senator called for new elections in Israel. United States President Joe Biden meets with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The Hindu newspaper also stated that United States probing Gautam Adani and Adani Group over potential bribery report. The United States has widened its investigation of Adani Group, focused on the conduct of its founder Gautam Adani and whether the company may have engaged in bribery. Bloomberg News reported on March 15. The investigation is also looking at Indian renewable energy company Azure Power Global. Prosecutors are digging into the whether an Adani entity or people linked to the company, including Mr. Adani, were involved in the paying officials in India for favorable treatment. What was the Hindustan Times newspaper states that in a revised artificial intelligence advisory, IT Ministry removes requirement for government permission. Figurines with computers and smartphones are seen in front of the world's artificial intelligence. From New Delhi, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology on Friday revised its March 1st advisory to the largest social media companies in the country on the use of artificial intelligence, changing a provision that mandated intermediaries and platforms to get government permission before deploying untested or unreliable artificial intelligence models and tools in the country. The Times also states that India's monthly merchandise exports rise to $41.40 billion in February month. In 2022-23, India's merchandise exports crossed $451 billion, while overall exports, goods and services together achieved a record of $770 billion. From New Delhi, India reported a robust 12% annualized growth in merchandise exports at $41.4 billion in the month of February, despite global headwinds, a narrowing contraction in the first 11 months of 2023-24 by 3.6% to $395 billion, as senior officials said. Sometimes also states that NSA Doval visited Israel to promote peace and stability in the West Asia Minister of External Affairs, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, during a meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on March 11. New Delhi National Security Advisor Ajit Doval's visit to Israel this week was aimed at building on the Indian government's efforts to promote peace and stability in West Asia amid the Israeli-Hamas conflict, the External Affairs Minister said on Friday. Hindustan Times also stated that Defense Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated Navy's new headquarters in Delhi. It is the first independent headquarters for the Indian Navy in Delhi. New Delhi Union Defense Minister Rajnath Singh on Friday inaugurated the Indian Navy's new headquarters, Nausena Bhavan, at Delhi Cant, the first independent headquarters for the service in the capital, the Defense Ministry said in a statement. Going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, India's forex kitty expands $10.47 billion to $636.095 billion. Gold reserves increased by $2.299 billion United States dollar to $50.716 billion US dollar. During the week, the Reserve Bank of India said India's forex kitty jumped by United States dollar of $10.47 billion to United States dollar of $636.095 billion. For the week ended March 8, the Reserve Bank of India said on Friday, in October 2021, the country's forex kitty had reached at an all-time high of US dollar $645 billion. Q3 GDP numbers absolutely mystifying, difficult to comprehend, former CEA Arvind Subramanian. Elaborating further, Subramanian said, while the implied inflation in these numbers is 1 to 1.5%, actual inflation in the economy is somewhere between 3 and 5%. Former CEA Arvind Subramanian on GDP number. Apple reaches a $490 million settlement over the CEO Tim Cook's China sale comments. The settlement covers investors who bought Apple shares in the 2 months between the Cook's comments and the revenue forecast. Apple agreed to pay $490 million to settle a class action lawsuit that alleged chief executive Tim Cook defrauded shareholders by concealing falling demand for iPhones in China. Tim Cook, who had told investors and on November 1, 2018 analyst call that although Apple faced sales pressure in the markets such as Brazil, India, Russia and Turkey, where currencies had weakened, I would not put China in that category. In a big win for Elon Musk's Tesla, India is to lower electric vehicle import tax if $500 million invested. The policy is a big win for Tesla, as it is in line with that with what the company had been lobbying for in New Delhi. Sources said last July that the car maker had offered to build a factory, but in the meantime wanted a cut in import taxes that CEO Elon Musk said were among the highest in the world. India's lowering electric vehicle import tax is seen as a victory for Tesla. Now going towards the world news, including United States G7 allies warn Iran to back off deal to provide Russia ballistic missiles or face new sanctions. Trump judge in Georgia says lead prosecutor Fani Willis can stay on the election case. Violence in Haiti, India looking at evacuating its nationals. At least 14 killed in a Russian missile attack on Ukraine's Odisha. European Union close to sanctioning violent Israeli settlers, says the diplomats. Israel denies Palestinian claim its forces killed 20 near Gaza aid distribution center. Going towards science and technology, SpaceX says it lost Starship after mostly successful third launch. Elon Musk led SpaceX launched its Starship on Thursday for its third test flight. Starship did not explode this time, but the company lost the spacecraft on recent re-entry into the planet's atmosphere. SpaceX's next-generation Starship spacecraft atop its powerful Super Heavy rocket lifts off on its third launch from the company's Boca Chica launch pad on an uncrewed test flight near Brownsville, Texas, United States, March on 14, 2024. NASA finds clues that could help solve issues with the struggling Voyager first. NASA says it is closer to solving issue with the Voyager first, the first spacecraft to enter interstellar space. Artists' conceptions of NASA's Voyager first in space. Astronomers detected 7 potential ghost particles that passed through the planet. Scientists using data from the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory in the Antarctica believe that they have potentially found the first evidence for astrophysical type neutrinos called ghost particles because of how hard they are to bind. An artistic rendering of the Ice Cube lab at the South Pole based on a real image. From artificial intelligence point of view, a ChatGPT gets a body figure 1 can perform household chores at command. This video figures humanoid robot flawlessly understanding requests and assisting with the tasks like handing over food and cleaning up is straight out of a sci-fi movie. You have chatted with the ChatGPT, but have you ever wondered what it would be like if the artificial intelligence had a physical form? The startup Figure has an answer with their new robot called Figure One. Figure's new robot brings the generative artificial intelligence assistance into the physical world. At last, there is a famous quotation said by Jalaluddin Rumi, whose full name was Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi, or simply Rumi. Birth anniversary 30th September 1207 up to 17 December 1273. Was a 13th century poet, Hanafi Fiqh, Islamic scholar, Maturidi, a theologian, and a Sufi mystic originally from Greater Khorasan in the Greater Iran. Rumi's works were written mostly in the Persian, but occasionally he also used Turkish, Arabic, and Greek in his verse. His Masnavi, composed in Konya, is considered one of the greatest poems of the Persian language. Rumi's influence has transcended national borders and ethnic divisions. Iranians, Afghans, Tajiks, Turkish, Kurds, Greeks, Central Asian Muslims, as well as the Muslims of the South Asia have greatly appreciated his spiritual legacy for the past 7 centuries. His poetry influenced not only the Persian literature but also the literary traditions of the Ottoman Turkish, Chagatai, Pashto, Kurdish, Urdu, and Bengali languages. Rumi's works are widely read today in their original languages across the Greater Iran and the Persian-speaking world. His poems have subsequently been translated into many of the world's languages and transposed into various formats. Rumi has been described as the most popular poet, is very popular in Turkey, Azerbaijan, and South Asia, and has become the best-selling poet in the United States. Mullah Rumi says a famous quotation. He says that, knock and he will open the door, vanish. And he will make you shine like the sun. Fall and he will rise you like the heavens. Fall and he will raise you to the heavens. Become nothing and he will turn you into the everything. Okay, thank you.